Mini Stories 3 PSEB Class 6 PDF. Adapted and modified by Kulwant Singh Sandhu. 1. The Peacock and the Crow. Once there lived a crow who did not like his black feathers. He wanted to be like a peacock because the colorful feathers of the peacock looked very beautiful. "You look so dull and plain. Look how beautiful the peacocks are. I wish I were a peacock," he would say to other crows. One day, perching on his tree, the crow saw many peacock feathers on the ground. The feathers looked very beautiful. Seeing those peacock feathers, he got an idea. He collected all the feathers and stuck them into his wings and the tail. He also put a few on his head to look like a peacock. He flew to a river to see his reflection. "Wow, now I look as beautiful as a peacock," he said happily. He felt so proud that he started ignoring his friends. He told them, "Look at my beautiful feathers. I don't belong to you anymore, so stay away from me." "Now I'm also as beautiful as a peacock," he said to himself. He thought that now he should live among the peacocks. So he went to join the pride of peacocks, but peacocks laughed at him. They did not accept him. The peacocks knew that he was not one among them. He was a crow. "Peacock feathers will not make you a peacock," they said to him. Sad and feeling insulted, he thought that his crow friends would be happy to see his new feathers. He returned to his fellow crows. None of his fellow crows accepted him. They did not want him back because he had insulted them earlier. They also knew that he had been insulted by the peacocks. They also started laughing at him. They looked at his feathers and laughed at his face. Then, an old wise crow came and told him, "We should accept ourselves the way we are. Don't try to copy others blindly. Peacock feathers are good for peacocks only. For crows, the peacock feathers are heavy. You will not be able to fly properly with these stuck on your body. I hope you have learned your lesson." The crow realized his mistake. Though he thought that he was looking handsome, he found it difficult to fly properly. He tore off the entire peacock feathers that were stuck to his feathers. He accepted his plain self. Then he went to his friends and apologized for insulting them. They accepted him and became friends again. The crow was finally happy. 2. How beautiful is the rain. After the dust and heat. In the broad and fiery street. In the narrow lane. How beautiful is the rain. How it clatters along the roofs. Like the tramp of hoofs. How it gushes and struggles out. From the throat of the overflowing spout. Across the window pane. It pours and pours. And swift and wide. With a muddy tide. Like a river down the gutter roars. The rain, the welcome rain. Free Kabaddi. Sports are very important in our lives. If we play sports, we keep young and healthy. In our villages, many sports and games are played. One game is very popular, which is Kabaddi. Kabaddi is a team game. It is a very entertaining game. Players of Kabaddi need to be strong and quick on their feet. They should be able to control their breath and hold it for a long time. A line to divide the two teams is drawn on the ground. Each team has 7 players. The two teams stand opposite to each other with the line between them. A member of one team crosses the line and goes into the opposing camp, saying, "Kabaddi, Kabaddi," while also holding the breath. If he is able to touch 1 or 2 persons while saying the word Kabaddi and holding breath and runs back to their side, the person who is touched is declared out. Then another team member crosses the line. However, if he is caught on the opposite side and is not able to get back to the team while saying Kabaddi and holding breath, he is declared out. When all the members of a team are out, the other team wins the game. Kabaddi is very popular all over Punjab. Slowly, it is becoming popular internationally also. The Kabaddi World Cup is an indoor international Kabaddi competition. It is organized by the International Kabaddi Federation. Both men's and women's national teams participate in this competition. The competition started in 2004 World Cup. It has continued since then. India has done very well in these tournaments. Most tournaments have been won by India. 4. I am writing a letter. I am writing a letter. To send by the evening post. It is to the person I care for the most. Write the date clearly. And put the right address. And begin, dearest mummy. Did anyone guess? My new pen travels slowly. All down the long sheet. Because I'm so anxious. To keep it all neat, I carefully blot it. To dry up the ink. Such nice blotting paper. The color is pink. I turn the page over. And on goes my pen. Till lastly, come kisses. There's just room for 10. The envelope is ready. I put the stamp on. And run to the postbox. And now it has gone. 5. The Kabuliwala. Little Minnie was 5 years old and a great chatterbox. She simply could not live without chatting all the time. Her mother was often worried about this non-stop chatter of Minnie and tried to quieten her. But no one could think of Minnie being quiet. Her conversation with her father was always very lively. One day Minnie came busting into her father's study. She put her arm around him and said, "What do you think, father? Bola says there is an elephant in the clouds, blowing water out of its trunk, and that is why it rains." Before he could reply, she ran to the window crying, "A Kabuliwala, a Kabuliwala." Minnie called out to the Kabuliwala, but when he looked at her, she was in terror and ran to her father. She had heard that Kabuliwalas caught children, put them in their sacks, and took them away. The Kabuliwala came to Minnie's house, and her father made sure that Minnie came out and met him. Soon Minnie lost her fear of him, and it was a joy to watch the big bearded Pathan talking tenderly to the little 5-year-old. The Kabuliwala was now a daily visitor to Minnie's house. They would sit and chat for hours and crack jokes with each other. "Kabuliwala, oh Kabuliwala, what have you got in your bag?" Minnie would ask. "An elephant," answered the Kabuliwala, and then the two of them would laugh a lot. Once a year, Riaman, for that was the Kabuliwala's name, would go back to his own country. He would first collect all the money that people owed him before he left. But although he was busy, Riaman always found time to visit little Minnie. One day, there was a lot of noise in the street. Riaman had stabbed a man who owed him money. For the crime, he was sent to prison. Time passed, and Minnie soon forgot her old friend, the Kabuliwala. She'd grown up into a very pretty woman. Her father made arrangements for Minnie's wedding. Minnie was getting married that night. As her father sat in his study, a man came up and saluted him respectfully. At first, he did not recognize him. Soon he realized it was old Riaman, the Kabuliwala. Minnie's father told him there were ceremonies going on, and that he should come on another day. He was about to leave when he turned around and said, "May I see the little one, sir?" He still thought of Minnie as a little girl running to him and calling, "Kabuliwala, oh Kabuliwala." He thought they would talk and laugh as they had done long ago. Minnie's father told him once more that there were ceremonies. The Kabuliwala then gave him a small packet of dried raisins, nuts, and almonds for Minnie and said, "Give these to the little one. I too have a little one like her, and I think of her and bring you this fruit." Minnie's father could not control his tears. He realized that the poor Kabuliwala was also a father. He called Minnie, who came out dressed as a bride. The Kabuliwala was shocked to see that Minnie, the little girl he had known, had grown up into a beautiful woman. He suddenly realized that his own daughter would have grown up too and broke into tears. Minnie's father took out some money and gave it to Riaman and said, "Go and see your daughter, and may you have all the happiness." Minnie's father had to cut down the expenses on the wedding. He could not afford the military band and the electric lights, but he was happy that with that money, a long-lost father will be able to meet his only child once again.